Let me say something that is very unpopular. A big part of success is not being emotional, it's actually being practical. This applies to men, this applies to women, it just applies to life. Emotions have their place, but to be honest, they're terrible leaders. My day job is a social worker. So I live in emotions. I hold space, I feel deeply, but that's a part of the job. But here's the hazard of it for me. If I'm not careful, I can spend too much time in my feelings at times. And while emotions are really useful for empathy, they're not always useful for execution in certain areas. Now, you don't build consistency, discipline, or long-term impact by checking how you feel every single day. I know it sounds crazy to say, but hear me out. Wait. Recently, I went to Kenya. The family that I stayed with completely disrupted that particular thinking. These people were like, it felt like they weren't resting. They work constantly different types of works, no drama around it, no emotional commentary that we'll be having on our head. Well, it didn't seem like they were having that. And I remember sitting there and asking myself, and I'm like, what is happening? So I sat one of them down and I asked, why do you work the way you work? And then the response was, why not? This is how God called us. And I was just like, what? Yeah. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. That really stopped me. They had power to outsource anything that they wanted, everything, house helps, workers, systems, and all of that. But they didn't. They did everything. I remember people will be waking up 5:30, 6, and then do all sorts of things. And I'm just like, I'm here trying to survive, my friend, because I'm sitting there having this conversation in my head. They had a system together anyways for almost nearly 40 years or 40 years. It could even be more that worked. One thing that stood out to me about them, and specifically one of them, used to use this phrase, today, not tomorrow. No emotional debate, no overthinking anything, no waiting to feel motivated. If work is there, you do it, period. It's just that simple. That mindset really challenged me deeply. Who am I to say I'm tired, I don't feel like it, I'm not in the mood, when people twice my age, could be more, are they telling me we are doing this thing today and not tomorrow? So my shame could not allow me to do that. Here's what I learned. Throughout this past year or so, your body will tell you if something is actually wrong with it or genuinely wrong with it. Pain, exhaustion, or illness. But your emotions, they complain early. Woo! They complain. They'll be like, "Hey, we are going to perish." I don't know if you've ever seen that reel somewhere where it's like, if I perish, if I perish, or something like that. And I think kind of like that. Your emotion would just be doing the most, but you just have to say, if I perish, I perish. Your emotion exaggerate. They try to negotiate things, that you should be doing. Your emotion would say, I'm tired, I can't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. Your body often says you're actually fine, let's go. Unless it's deeply something troubling, I'm telling you, trust your body will tell you the truth. But emotions, they will be doing weird stuff. This doesn't mean that you burn yourself out, you just go do weird stuff. No, it's not about that. It means that don't hand the steering wheel to your feelings alone and just leave it there. I'm telling you, your emotions will take you places you are wondering boo, what is happening? Here's the shift that changed for me. When something needs to be done, do it first. Think about it later. If you start to calculate all these things after you are waking up and you are like, let me put on my clothes and then wash. No, don't do that. Just think about it later. Just do it now. Action will create that clarity. Momentum creates energy, not the other way around. Consistency creates results, not emotions. Feelings are information and not instructions. Hear that. Feelings are information and not instructions. So don't hear it. Be practical. Build system. Do the work. That's how a free mind is formed. That's Nhom Lau.